There's just this energy around Jim that just sucks people in, but also it explodes into the community. And we're so fortunate he's choosing to work with Access.
Everybody in our community has been affected by the pandemic, but people who rely on local Access food pantries were hit especially hard. Fortunately, Access has Jim Foucault, who stepped in and helped to quickly revamp the West Medford Food Pantry to adopt new safety measures, be more efficient, and serve more people in need.
We do have a Community Service Award today for Mr. Jim Foucault from Access Incorporated. And Mr. Foucault, the Community Service Award for March 2021, presented on March 31st, 2021. The Jackson County Commissioners are pleased to present the March 2021 Community Service Award to Mr. Jim Foucault for his service to Access Incorporated. Mr. Foucault was nominated by Miss Marcy Champion of Access Incorporated, who noted that Mr. Foucault has been instrumental in the success of 2 Access food pantries over the past 4 years. In 2017, he started the First Presbyterian Church Pantry in downtown Medford as a volunteer before becoming the pantry manager. Mr. Foucault has spent his time there developing a loyal and eager volunteer base, streamlining the process of getting food to those in need so people didn't have to wait as long, and making sure that the pantry is well publicized to community members. Due to its location, the First Presbyterian Church Pantry sees a lot of people come through who are experiencing homelessness, and to address the unique needs of this population, the church provides brown bag lunches 4 days per week, which Mr. Foucault has also been closely involved with. When COVID-19 pandemic hit, Access food pantries had to change the manner in which they operated for the safety of both volunteers and participants. The First Presbyterian Church did not have a viable way to operate using this new drive-through style, causing their pantry to temporarily close. The West Medford Pantry had been struggling to develop robust processes, and when it became clear that the First Presbyterian Church Pantry would remain temporarily closed, Access staff approached Mr. Foucault to ask if he would consider stepping in to help this pantry become more efficient and effective. It was not surprising when he said yes, as it is in his nature to help whenever he can. Mr. Foucault became pantry manager at the end of August 2020, and since that time, the West Medford Pantry has been transformed. Immediately upon starting, he assessed the needs of the pantry and worked with Access to obtain new shelving and other equipment, and with the Medford 549C School District, who owns the building, to make improvements to the space. What was once a cramped and awkward space is now flexible and can be configured to accommodate many different situations. This has helped the pantry become more efficient and has produced a safer environment for volunteers and eventually for participants when they can return to a shopping-style pantry. In addition to being the impetus behind the changes at the West Medford Pantry, Mr. Foucault provided much of the labor himself to fix, assemble, clean, or perform any other tasks that was needed. This took a great deal of his time beyond what he already had committed to do. Mr. Foucault cares deeply about what he turns his attention to, and it shows in everything that he does. Not only does he throw himself into his volunteering, he also brings others along as they are inspired by him. When he agreed to assist the West Medford Pantry, many of the volunteers he worked with the First Presbyterian Church followed, knowing that they would be helping not only the community, but someone they admired deeply. It is thanks to Mr. Foucault's great skill with systems improvement and his passion for community service that the West Medford Pantry has not only been able to continue to serve the most vulnerable in our community, but has also been expanded and revamped. In the midst of the dual crises of the COVID-19 pandemic and the devastating fires. Due to the improvements at the West Medford Pantry, the number of food insecure citizens being served at that location have increased by 30% per week. Mr. Foucault is one of those delightful volunteers who creates a healthy, thriving environment, but does not seek out attention in doing so. And in fact, he is quick to deflect praise for his work to those who volunteer alongside him. He is constantly looking for ways to improve the system, going so far as to visit other pantries to see how they operate, even when his own system is a model for others to follow. Access feels so fortunate to have someone with his skills, abilities, and passion as an integral volunteer in their pantry system. The Board of Commissioners is grateful to Ms. Champion for bringing Mr. Foucault to our attention and we are pleased to recognize him for his contribution to Jackson County. We believe Mr. Foucault's efforts distinguish him as a citizen worthy of this March 2021 Community Service Award. Congratulations.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. I'll let the other commissioners jump in to help embarrass you, if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't want to embarrass you, but I do want to thank you so much for all you do and all you've done. I think between the fires and COVID put the need for what you do in fast track, but I think it also just as a showcase of the great volunteers and generous community we live in. And just thank you so much for filling that spot and the need that was there. Thank you.
Yeah, Jim, and I also want to say here, and I want to add that your flexibility is what's very impressive here. You had to take I'm sure that was a very, very tough time, and you had to change quickly to meet the needs of the people, and flexibility is a wonderful attribute to have.
Thank you for those kind words. I'd just like to recognize all the folks at Access who makes it possible for all of us volunteers out there to provide some support to our community. They do a great job every day at Access, and some of us volunteers step up now and again and help them out. So kudos to Access for all they do for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Champion, I'll allow you to add a few words if you like. I mean, you gave us lots of information, but you brought this nomination forward, so we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. I could talk about Jim all day. He just, I have not known him that long, but he stepped right in, and I mean, he's coming into our office with lists, and here are the things that need to get done. So he's got that remarkable ability to, again, manage systems, but also just has such a heart to help the community. He is so compassionate and empathetic to the people that he serves and to the people that he works beside. And so he just there's just this energy around Jim that just sucks people in, but also it explodes into the community. And we're so fortunate he's choosing to work with Access, because we would be monumentally jealous if he worked for anybody else as a volunteer. So I would take a bazillion Jims any day, although we only need a handful to accomplish everything we needed to do. So yay, Jim, I'm so excited.
Thank you. Well, we're just glad you're in Jackson County doing what you do. Again, Access has been such an amazing partner for us, and the things they do that people can see and behind the scenes, I don't think people will ever fully appreciate and understand. So thank you for your part in it, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.